Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts Aaron Carlson and Charles Lawson. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Yeah, with this snoring, you woke me up like 5 times last night.
I thought it was only once. I thought you,
Okay,
I remember I woke up and
if
I
I'm
flipped over and you
exaggerating-
were staring at me. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
I
what?
know, because you were snoring.
But he doesn't snore, remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
But, you know,
I remember that, and then I forget it every night when he actually does snore.
Wait. Let me ask you this: do you do anything when he's snoring? Pillow.
Sometimes I hit him hard.
Like,
because
how?
hitting him soft does nothing, so I have to just ball up my fist and freaking punch him to get him to shut up.
And do I react to those punches?
About the third one, you'll stop snoring.
Dude, I'm a tough motherfucker. I mean,
I
am
wouldn't say
fucking
tough.
hard.
I
could
wouldn't really
sleep
say
through
tough.
a fucking anvil flying on into my goddamn knee and just be laying there sleeping.
Thank you for acting like I'm that strong, but
No, dude, I'm not saying you're not strong. I'm saying how strong
like,
I am.
he's like, I can sleep through.
And that's funny though. That's the difference
Hard.
between people. Because Amber just would look at me and she'd be like, "Honey, you're snoring," and I would, while I'm asleep, I would apologize and roll over.
Oh my God.
That's
What?
nice.
And then
Where are
and
you
then-
on that?
That's
and
so
then I'd
sweet.
snore while I'm on my stomach, and then I think she swears.
Like nothing actually works until I freaking punch him. And then he'll stop. And then he just stops snoring. But he never apologizes except for...
Have you ever just thought about, like, caressing me and, like, shh, babe, it's okay. And then I just kind of soothe in and just relax.
Well, you think I just started off
I mean, you don't have to
punching
just
you?
literally
Or
beat
do
the
you
shit
think
out
that I
of me
tried
when I'm
other things?
sleeping and snore. Yeah, well, I don't know.
He's
Okay,
asleep.
I tried everything until I had to beat the shit out of you to get you to shut up.
Got it.
Because you wouldn't stop.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
you
Fine.
sleep hard as... Yeah. You sleep so hard.
I sleep good, man. I sleep good. It's
Appar-
good.
Apparently,
good.
because, yeah.
I have a feeling we've been on the air this entire time.
Oh, I hope not.
I think we were. We're on the air, Chuck?
No.
Only once you guys started talking about snoring, because I figured it would be a nice roll-in from last week's episode. As we finished it, everything was just snoring, so now we're rolling right into it. So
Oh,
good
that's cute.
morning, everybody, and welcome to Around the Reel. This is Chuck Lawson, your host, with your other host with the most.
Aaron Carlson here for you guys. Wow. Host with the most. Dude, it's like a radio show right now.
No, it's not.
Should I get some stuff like Howard Stern did and start banging it, you know?
That
No.
would totally max out the...
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. That's okay. Well, thanks for the invite, Chuck.
You're welcome. You know, it's a scheduled Saturday thing. It's not like you're the first guest. Do you want to feel like a guest?
No, I don't want to feel like it. What I do want to comment on is these wonderful microphones you ordered. I mean, we've got pop filters. We've got Rode mics now. We got a third mic here for Sam, who's using the H6 Zoom thingy, but it still works good, what we used last week. So now we got like 3 people, and Samantha's joining us today on the mic. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
That's good. It's good.
It's always great, too, because, we always talk about how we could just start a podcast. Here I go again. Podcast.
Fucking
Oh, my
podcast.
gosh. Podcast in the middle of a conversation. It'd be fun to see how people react to just rolling into, what are these guys talking about?
Right.
And since we were talking about what we were talking about last week, it seemed like a good time to hit the button and get things started for the day.
Yeah,
Just
it
get
was
it
almost
rolling.
like we never left. We were just talking
There
about
are
the
times it
same
feels like
thing.
I kind of never did. Yeah, a part of me was still here. I mean, I found it when I came here this morning. I'm like, ooh, that's where it went. And then I put it back on. It was a piece. It was an important piece. I kind of lacked it all week, but
There's
now I
something
put it back.
really wrong with you.
A little bit. I want to try out these pop filters.
Oh, how much do you want to try them out?
Okay, we're gonna do a little
Why are you always looking at me?
because it's fun.
Well, don't
All
look
right,
at me.
So here we go. Let's test the pop filters. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers. Peck of peppers. Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers. Where's the peck of peppers? Peter Piper picked.
I don't know.
How's that? That's pretty good. That's not bad.
It didn't sound bad in my ears, but who
No,
knows?
not at
Once,
all.
Once it gets laid out, and we'll see how things go. But I think everything's doing its job between the new microphones and the pop filter should be great for us. And unfortunately, let's see what happens when we have our background noise and using the table.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And these chairs are a little squeaky, but anyway, we should probably get on with the show. But before we do that, I got one more challenge I want to put on you guys.
Okay.
One smart fella. Just to break the ice, loosen up a little bit, get the tongue rolling.
Go ahead, Chucky.
All right, I'll do.
You got it.
One smart fella, he felt smart. 2 smart fellas, they felt smart. 3 smart fellas, they all felt smart.
I don't know that one.
Well, now you do.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I
One
wasn't paying
smart
close
fella. One smart fella. He felt smart.
One smart fella, he felt smart.
Two smart fellas.
They felt smart. 3 smart fellas,
They all felt smart.
they all felt smart.
Yeah. Now try to roll it off your tongue as fast as possible.
1 smart fella, he felt smart. 2 fart smells.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
I'm a fart smeller. It's true.
All right, Sam, your turn. Let's go.
No.
Fart smell.
I'm
Stop
not
calling
doing
fart
it. I
smell.
say fart every time.
But it's really funny.
No,
This
every
may
time.
be the moment
No.
that you can do it.
I'm not going to make it. I say fart every time.
Well, let's just try it. One. Just say
No,
one smart
please.
fella.
Leave me alone and stop looking at
All
me.
right, fair enough. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine. It would be fun, though. Okay, today on the show, we came up with a topic that we've kind of fell into about judging a book by its cover, which basically we're going to be discussing how artwork and how your eye for things make a difference in whatever kind of creative project you're doing, and why I find it discouraging, to say the least, because I think it goes deeper than that in the human psyche for some reason. And I wanted to talk about that with Chuck and Sam today, see what their thoughts were. So, Chuck, this was a good topic you came up with. So why don't you start it off and get us rolling?
Well, I mean, we were talking about, in generalization, we were talking about everything that goes with that. We were actually talking about the old movies we used to go to the stores and, rent, and the VHS artwork and stuff.
Holy
that
shit.
brought it all up.
Remember that video store?
And I remember one movie in particular, which I do not remember the name of. I don't even remember who was in it, because it was...
Was that one dude in that one movie?
It was a disappointment of a movie.
Oh.
But they did get their story out, and they did, get it on the screen, so that's one thing for them. But no, the artwork was amazing. The creature on it was a horror movie.
Okay.
The creature on it was awesome. We got it, we took it back, and you only see that creature that's in that artwork for like 10 seconds surrounded by smoke.
Okay, got it.
Towards the end of the movie.
Right.
It's like some, demon type movie or possession movie or something like that. But you only saw that demon for those few seconds, surrounded in a cloud of smoke. Didn't look as good as the artwork. Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh, that was disappointing.
And that disappointed you, but the artwork caught your eye.
Exactly.
And made you guys get that movie and spend that
You
money.
say you guys, it was us.
Was it us?
You and I.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was with your
Back
dad
in
or
the old
something. or your mom.
back in the old days, Lafayette.
Oh shit. Okay. What movie was it, I wonder? Well, a lot of them had good artwork back then. I remember being a kid and with my dad going to movies to go to rent movies. And we'd spend all day there waiting for a specific movie to come back because, back then, if it was out, you had to wait.
Right.
And it was a one-day rental then. So you knew the movie would come back that day. Just you had no idea when the lazy motherfucker would bring it back, right? So my dad, I remember when Romancing the Stone hit VHS, we were dying to watch that again because we saw it in the theater.
Right.
So we got there when the store opened, and we were there most of the day. And I remember walking through movies to go and looking at every box, reading every movie that caught my eye, and that was a majority of them. But I started in the action movies and the horror movies, and that's where I lived. So even to this day, when someone describes a movie, if I can't remember the title, I know the box cover.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So I remember how important that stuff was. But I also remember, like you're saying, where you could rent a movie with a really shitty cover, and that movie's badass when you watch it, but the artwork was crap. And I know vice versa, where the artwork was really great, like you were talking about,
Right.
and the movie was trash. So artwork is key. So I know I'm making a lot of noise. It's fine. Maybe not. So what is it about the eye and consumers in general, or people in general? I find it kind of disappointing in a way that a project or a person or a thing can be ignored because of the first glimpse of it, if it doesn't look appealing. So, thoughts on that, anyone? No? Great.
Well, if you... Hey, I was making eye contact to see who's going to talk first. Here's a good example. Let's talk about people for a minute.
Okay, people.
People.
My favorite topic.
Freaking, it's just people. Mm-hmm. Facebook, right now, the way it looks. We like to go back to social media because of all the chaos and the craziness, but we do rely on it so much for what we do. Mm-hmm. So looking at people, and if you look at somebody's, like, for example, my son right now has his his flag with the black flag with the blue stripe going through it.
Okay.
For a fallen officer, somebody who died last week.
Okay. Is that the Blue Lives Matter?
No.
Oh.
That's just when an officer dies, they post a black United States flag with with one solid blue stripe going through the middle of it.
Got it. Okay.
Or black and white, I should say.
All right, I'm with you.
American flag. So that's his thing. So seeing that makes me think of the conversations that have happened between him and family members when everything was going on between Black Lives Matter, the CHOP thing in Seattle, and the fact that even Isaac is young, he has his opinions, and he's pro police because he's thinking of becoming an officer himself.
Makes sense.
So I think I see him post that, and my brain as a dad automatically goes, okay, is he going to get a whole bunch of flack for that? Is he going to get a bunch of support for that? What's going to happen?
Right.
Because people are going to see that, automatically judge one way or another.
And not read the book.
Right.
Right.
And not know the person behind it just
Right.
because of something that they put out.
Sure.
Another great example is our artwork. Mm-hmm. We just changed our artwork. We asked everybody to look at our artwork for what we were originally thinking of doing for our podcast for two different simple things. Right?
Right.
And did I say podcast again?
I don't know if you did.
You
but
both
it's okay.
smiled, so I was like, God, man, my tongue doesn't work today. I'm on vacation.
That was
so.
love smile.
That was
Dude, you are making...
I am not used to that. That was a love. I mean, gosh, I
We
just
were
hit my
giving
microphone.
each other the eye.
Yeah, the eyes, bro.
Come on.
Oh. We look appealing.
Okay.
And way to
I'm
make
not,
it weird.
Yeah.
But no, but with our artwork for our podcast is, we had very limited amount of people who responded to what we should go with.
Correct.
But the new one that we just posted with our avatars,
Right.
we had more likes and everything, and that just what we came up with as opposed to what we asked people to judge on.
Right. And that was the reasoning I had when we were when we began marketing the podcast, because the artwork we used for the first couple episodes didn't seem to get the clicks.
Right.
And once I started posting more personable pictures of ourselves in our studio, that got more responses from people out there. So, and that's when you came up with the idea, instead of putting our pretty faces on it,
Not pretty.
why don't we use the avatar thing? And I thought that was kind of fun. And yeah, it works. But again, the show hasn't changed.
Right.
Right? It's the same concept. We're still talking shit and doing this thing for filmmakers or creatives out there. So all the people that wouldn't click on that stupid artwork, or we could be missing out on something. But now, since we're using cartoon characters, all of a sudden that appeals to people. And I'm like, dude, give it a shot. But I'm just as guilty of it, which makes me think, like, why are we so inept at wanting to get to know something better if it's pretty?
Well, and you said something yesterday that I thought was interesting that would be good to talk about now, is you were angry because you think that way.
Right.
Why are you angry because you think that way? It's just what you're going off with, what's appealing or what's in your brain right now. So why did that anger you that it affects you that way?
It makes me feel like I'm a little more selfish and egotistical. And
You're a lot of both of those things.
well, coming to terms with it and realizing it's true is painful. I mean, you don't want to portray yourself that way, and you don't want to think that way. And when you find out you do have those kind of thoughts and stuff, if you're a decent person, you're going to be like, why the fuck do I think that way? I've done it many times, not just with movie posters and what I rent or watch or listen to, but with people.
So you're basically saying that people can't judge you by your cover.
Correct. And that kind of goes with what I think a lot of the racial biases we see, the sexism we see. I mean, why the fuck do women have to look a certain way for us to go, oh man, she's hot? Right? I mean, that's kind of the same thing. That woman could be everything that you want. She just doesn't look like it yet, because you're judging her by how she's dressing, the makeup she's wearing.
Or not.
Whatever that is. And I know that's preference and all, but if we have a rule to don't judge a book by its cover, why isn't it universal across everything? That's my question. It seems to be deep-seated in us as people. And doesn't it seem a little superficial?
No, it seems like a natural instinct to me.
Explain. Like, what do you mean?
It's natural to do that. It's natural to... You don't want to... I don't know. You like movies and all those kind of things. Mm-hmm. You don't want to watch it if it doesn't look good. You don't want to date somebody who doesn't look good. So...
But that's my point.
It's a natural thing to just think that way.
How are we taught that, though? I mean,
no,
do you think we're not born that way? Are we? I don't think we are. Well, that's the weird thing.
No, I think we are. I mean...
The rules of attraction are there for a reason. It's not just... I think it's something that is, intuned in us. It's not something that we're taught.
But
Yeah,
there's a
no.
universal look. Like, there's a reason why the Avengers poster looks like the Star Wars poster with the color scheme. You know what I mean? It worked,
Well,
right?
it's a pyramid.
Yeah.
They're all pyramids.
Yeah, it's a technique behind it. So yes, we all have our own preferences. You know, some people are attracted to this or that, but when it comes to generalizing an outlook, like for a poster or whatever you're going to use, there seems to be a theme, if you notice it. And if you're outside that theme, some people won't give it a chance because they're so used to it one way. It's like the marketing has altered our brains to look at things a certain way. And why is that? That's what's strange. Did they mind fuck us for all these years?
No.
They did.
Who
They
did?
had to have.
Who
Somebody
did?
fucking
Oh,
did.
conspiracy theory, this.
Yeah, this is a deep state, bro.
Conspiracy theory,
I think the
that.
deep state. I can't even say it.
Oh my gosh. I had to make eye contact with Aaron to make sure he cracked
God,
because
I can't even
he
fucking
probably
say
could have gone down a rabbit hole that made all of you guys turn off for about an hour.
No, because there's some crazy shit people are talking about. We'll talk about that.
There
I'm
is.
going to talk about that because that's some wild shit people are thinking.
Oh,
and talking about.
stop.
But no,
no.
but as far as
Please
the
don't.
laws of attractions and everything else, I mean, there is a triangle or an asymmetry that everybody finds a certain way to be appealing. As far as like in their, upside down A on someone's face, you cross their, from their ears to their eyes, and then how it shapes down to the corner of their chin, or the middle of their chin, excuse me.
Okay.
And
Are you
that
talking
way,
about their symmetry?
the symmetry of their face. The same thing with the symmetry of things we look at. Like you said, you brought up the Star Wars posters, and we are naturally drawn to things that are in the shape of a pyramid to show a greater point to the top.
But we're all animals, so do animals do the same thing?
I don't know.
don't know either.
Last time I talked to my dog, it just whined at me.
Yeah. Where's the dog?
I think the dogs are locked outside because the grandchildren are in the main floor down below.
But the one thing I think you're not touching on is the fact that if you do judge a book by its cover, you get what you get. You get what you deserve. So if you,
'Cause you
oh,
do-
that girl's hot, and you go after her and she's crazy,
Most are.
Because
that's what you get for
right.
judging her just on her looks.
And that's a good point. And that's fun because they assume that book is going to be great. And then they get in and go, this is a shitty book. I don't like this book at all. The
Yeah.
cover was great, but fuck, they can't write.
And the next time you're going to think twice about just looking at the cover. Maybe you're going to read the back
Read it.
or something. I mean,
Using
I don't
a book
know.
as a reference, not a
Give it a
person.
second.
Hey, baby, can you
Give
turn
it a-
around a minute? I'm going to read the back real quick.
I was talking about a book, not...
Hey, there are women out there with tattoos that actually have scripture or their favorite verses from a movie or something on their body. That would tell a lot about them.
In what way?
Just, for example, my daughter has a verse from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
On her whole upper leg.
Okay.
So that tells a lot about her. She's always
Likes The Nightmare Before Christmas.
she likes the movie, but also at the same time, she also is connected to her inner child to a degree because it is
Cartoonish.
geared towards children. So she's connected to her child. I wish I could remember what the verse was off the top of my head.
That's okay.
But and she's very caring because that's what the verse. I remember that's what the verse is based off of.
Right.
So she's a caring person. She's connected to her inner child, and she's obviously an adult because she has a tattoo. So I mean,
Got it. Okay.
but it's just one of those things that you never know.
Right.
And then you might find somebody who has ink over 3/4 of their body, and that does not appeal to you. But that person might be the nicest, kindest, most giving person you'll ever meet.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the unfair part. So if you're creating a project, let's say, and we get off people for a second,
Okay.
the appeal that your artwork needs to portray to the majority of the people out there, it's very tactical, right? So you got to really think about it. And when I was doing the outright, I honestly didn't think about it. I just made something I thought looked cool. And that was easy for me to make because I'm not a graphic designer.
He just
an
put
artist.
himself on there.
Well, yeah, I thought,
and
no.
he thinks that's cool.
Well, it's very appealing,
To you.
to the eye, bro. Yeah, Marcus
Yeah.
Ford, Look at that poster. It's a great fucking poster.
It's you. It's
not
not
me.
super
It's the one
exciting.
that
I mean,
actually-
it could...
Let's break down the poster here. If you guys haven't seen the Outrider poster, check it out, and then you can reference that one during this.
Since we do have a copy of the poster in our studio and we're looking at it, if you do look at it and you look at the fact that yes, you are centered on the poster,
Correct.
And yeah, it was a fun scene of you going running down actually an alleyway.
Right.
But if you look at it and why it's so, one of the reasons it's so appealing is you have two V shapes coming together. You have the skyline,
Right.
and then your top of your head or your top of your hat,
Right.
and your coat actually flares out. So
I got
you
it.
have
So the triangles are there.
The two
Can
triangles.
I just say he didn't do that on purpose?
I might have, because I have an eye for
You know
it.
what?
He
You
might have-
didn't.
He didn't do it on purpose.
Subconsciously.
He did it subconsciously.
And that's the point. I think we've been mind fucked
it's not mine.
Oh my god!
by something. Because even look at my
wow.
chiseled jaw. I mean, that alone kind of gives you that.
Are you
that
trying
edge.
to just make me? Go
No.
out?
I'm just want to
Out the
focus on
room?
the artistic portions of the poster. I didn't even realize I did. So, but I do believe that that's there. But that poster was supposed to be eye-catching because in my brain, the color aspect of it, there's a lot of things going on there to me that match the story, even though the movie's black and white. I mean, people didn't. I don't think they catch the ending of the movie that the black and white was for a reason. You know, and it wasn't just for our filmmaking. You know, that was production-wise, that was helping us. But, you know, story-wise, it's reminiscing. You know, it's Pastor Paul reminiscing about what happened.
Right.
You know, and then
Exactly.
we at the end of the movie we finally catch up to him, and then the movie's in color for a scene. You know, that was the whole point of it. But you know, that's why. And if you go back and look at all the noirs back in the day, their posters are in color. All those movies were black and white. So
Yeah, but
So when you
they put more than just one character on them usually.
not all of them. Humphrey Bogart was on just solo sometimes.
Yeah, but that was Humphrey Bogart.
Well, he
I mean-
started somewhere. I mean,
Hello.
Aaron Carlson has to start fucking somewhere, so might as well
Where did you start doing that, by the way?
center him. Doing what?
Fucking.
Fucking?
Yeah.
What?
You said you had to start fucking somewhere. Where did you start?
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
let's not.
That's
talk
a
about
weird
that.
segue.
That is
What the
awfully
hell is
creepy,
going
Chuck.
on? Jesus. All right, I
always nice
that was on our list here to talk about
Oh,
today.
there's a dog.
It is always nice to keep everybody on their toes, and they both had the most awesome look of shock on their faces that we are going to start recording next week.
Standing up on a chair right now on my toes. It's like a big mouse ran in the room. Mm-hmm. Coffee's good again, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You
good.
like the sound of your voice, don't you, Aaron?
I'm just talking.
I know.
It's a podcast, bro. It's a podcast, bro. Anyway, so the artwork thing is tricky. So what does a filmmaker do? What do you think a filmmaker should do to try to narrow down the best angle he can, so to speak, or she can, to really sell that movie with their artwork there, that cover art? I mean, how do you know? Is there a way? I mean, do you study other artworks? I mean, I kind of did when I was looking around, but I
Or
had
is it
nothing
worth
jump
hiring someone to do?
That's another
like
thing.
a professional
Yeah.
that actually does
if
that.
there's a
for
budget
living?
there, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's one of the big things, too, with the artwork, and same thing with cinematography. I mean, there's a reason why they actually put points, whatever you're going to do. Like,
Sure.
for a poster size, you know, it's a certain size, in a certain realm of... Sorry.
That's okay.
Of how things are looking. And same thing with, you know, the cinematography. You have your cross lines for where you want things that are naturally for the human eye to go to.
Okay.
Now, you can't say things are necessarily, you know, changed and it's not genetic. I mean, it's more genetic than it is taught because of the fact that the human eye naturally goes to certain places.
Gotcha. So like Sam was saying, it's natural instinct. It's instinctual to have these things in a way.
I think there's an element of that, yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I get it. I just don't know if I think that's all. I think there's more to it.
Well, there's people that study that stuff, and that's why they...
And they know what they're talking
they-
about, and we don't. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
In other words, we're going to have to do another episode and have a guest on here who actually does.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
'cause
be
I-
great.
Yeah, I find it interesting, though, because I feel like there's something deeper there that we don't know. Especially as artists when you're creating something. Like, I never thought about how important a movie poster would be. But it is.
Sure.
It really is. It's something that I don't think a filmmaker should skip over and take lightly after this last one we did. Now, we haven't got any complaints on it, but I did learn a few things about what people expected and then what they watched. And, you know, it's a lead-in almost to who you are as a filmmaker, right? And
Right.
what kind of project you're working on. And I guess your appearance then in real life is kind of the same way. Like, we're trying to be real here as people.
Right.
And we could have easily came up with PC ways to do this so that we come across as like, you know, goody goodies, right? So someone's not offended and all that shit. But we didn't. We decided to just go for it and be honest about everything that we tried to discuss here. Is that going to paint us in a weird way? Once people see that comical new artwork we have, are they going to go down here and think it's for their kids? Even then they forget the E for explicit's on there and they're listening to it and I'm talking about cocksuckers? Aren't they gonna?
Why do you choose that one?
And it just popped in my head. I've been brainwashed.
Is that subliminal? It just popped in your head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think so.
um,
You know what I mean? There's some weird stuff going on that I think we don't really think enough about.
and I mean, to what you said, yeah, it's going to go either way. Because like we're getting ready to make a faith-based film, to a degree.
Right.
You know, I want to make sure I keep your comfort level in the right spot.
You're
But
fine.
we are going to make a faith-based film, and for those that we're doing that for, if they come on and they look at some of our other stuff, they look at our other movies, they look at our podcast, they're going to think that these guys aren't as Christian as they say they are. I mean, if we say we have a big, a big investor who's a huge Christian and and maybe say, I'm not trying to paint anybody in any corners. Don't get this the wrong way.
I get it.
Say they're a big old Catholic.
Okay.
So they are a God-fearing person. Mm-hmm. And so they think that anything that we're doing, well, these guys aren't real Christians.
And they got a bunch of money they could give us, and because of the way we are in the podcast, they're like, I don't want to be incorporated with them because they're offensive.
Or they'll come back to us and say, I will give you the money, but we would like you to change your persona as to what you present to us.
And then I pray about it, and then I tell them, fuck off.
Oh my God. If you think about it, though, there's always somebody out there that's waiting to be offended.
Exactly.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. So you can't please everybody, right? And I'm sure there's nice Christian folk out there that would understand us and actually appreciate what we're doing because of our honesty and who we are. And they know that people aren't perfect. And they know that there's going to be mistakes made and the artwork isn't going to be pretty. But underneath that, there's substance, right?
Exactly.
Well, if
Look
you
how
think
deep
about
that
it, it's
was.
usually the dirtiest people that are the most judgmental of others.
You think so?
I do. Absolutely.
I always thought maybe I read somewhere like if people who cuss are actually more honest people than those that don't. Like they're like if they go and do a lie detector test, you're going to find the people that are more vulgar with the way they speak are more honest people, as opposed to the people who are watching their mouths.
I think you're lying your ass off. Right
No,
now.
you can Google that shit. No, that's true. No, I think there's something to it. Like we were talking about, Sam, saying bad words really does something to you. It's a release almost.
It is a release.
Yeah, where you feel more calm and relaxed. So if I tried to really watch my mouth, which you can't physically do anyway, that would be...
I can watch your mouth.
That would be really stressful. Yeah, I know.
Can't watch my own.
I know. You know what I mean? That'd be a stressful way to live, I think.
Well, it depends. Well, I mean, it's not just necessarily... Okay, so like for me, great example. For me this last week, very cynical. I was mostly exhausted throughout the week. Working hard, getting things done, getting ready to go on vacation. So, I was... I used a lot of release words, I guess you would refer to it as. But then again, it's not a matter of whether or not you cuss or not, because it's the verbiage that you're used to saying. So somebody who doesn't cuss might not watch the same type of stuff we do, might not interact with the same type of people we do.
Right.
I mean, I know people who who live very nice, calm lives, who are Christian people, who don't let any outside outside impact their lives.
Okay.
Because they just don't go that way. Same thing with, like for me, for an example, I stopped watching the news 9 months ago.
Right.
I still check things on, that come pop up that everybody says, oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that?
Right.
Whatever. But I mean, as far as watching the news every morning, I got sick of listening to all the rape and the horrible things happening on the planet to start my day.
Right.
So then I turned off the TV. I stopped watching the news, and all I did in the morning was grab my food and grab my coffee and go out the door and start my day the way I wanted to.
Right. And not be influenced by that outside stuff.
Exactly.
What you're saying. I got you. Okay. All right. Because it puts you in a mood.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you think it's actually possible to not let the outside influence you at all, though?
No, I mean, not living within community.
Not living, period.
Well,
There's no
it all
way.
depends. It all
There's
depends
no
on
way.
where you live.
I mean, I guess if you isolate yourself in a house and never leave by yourself,
Well,
without anybody else there, maybe.
I think Eskimos do it just fine. There's like 7 Eskimos, and they live fine. They don't let any influence really because it's too
I
fucking
don't know.
cold.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be that cold.
Is Eskimo still correct? I
I'd
don't
be
know.
miserable.
What do you mean?
Oh, is that
Eskimo
politically
PC? Is that
correct?
politically correct?
I don't know.
I don't know. Can you call them Eskimos?
I don't know.
If we've offended anybody, I just want to let you know I'm very sorry.
We just go to Eskimo.com. We can look it up.
We didn't mean to offend anybody.
I'm sure they got a
That's-
number on there. We can call them.
Oh my God.
You can use it's got to be. They got one. They have to. Everybody does now.
Going to what you said, though, I mean, if you have one person who goes out and here's a great example. Was that Waco?
Waco, Texas?
Yeah.
Like the The shit that went down in Waco back in the day.
Listen to his example. I want to hear this.
Yeah, they put themselves in a community where only a few members of the community who were the leadership of the community went out and interacted with the regular world and then came back with all the supplies and everything they needed. And only listened to what was told at the community.
Exactly. That's a cult. That's how they have to do it.
Exactly. But you said, give me an example of how.
Oh, okay. I did.
I didn't say it would be a logical or a good example.
No, I mean,
makes
it's...
sense,
But
yeah,
it is your surrounding and what you put yourself into.
That is true. That is true.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. No, you guys can keep talking. I was just peeking at the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent point. That's a good example.
But no, I mean,
I
that is. I mean,
I thought he
that's,
was going to hit us for talking too much.
No, bro, I'm shutting my mouth for a minute.
Wow.
That is the extremist version of it, but it is the same thing as far as communities. I mean, think of how before all us horrible white people showed up here in North America, think of how another part of people lived. It is possible to live without. I mean, you're drawn to the information that you were provided with, and now we have all the freaking information on the planet, except for Area 51, since they couldn't figure out how to get in there.
So if you're talking about outside world influences, then isn't that you just are killing that thing? Outside world influences, then is that what I'm trying to say about judging a book? Are we influenced to believe that certain things are prettier than other things? That's where we start getting weird. Because I think that's when I'm saying we're getting mind fucked. That's what I'm talking about, that influence. Like when we're born, we see commercials as a kid with those toys we want and that ad that looks great from Star Wars, and you want to buy that spaceship because they marketed it perfectly. So you start picking up on that when you're a kid, and then the older you get, next thing you know, you're in your mom's bathroom, you're going pee, and you look down, there's a Cosmopolitan there, and that girl looks really pretty on the cover.
No.
And then you think every girl has got to be pretty like that. You know what I mean? That's influence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
that's getting
you don't
screwed
have
over.
to let yourself be influenced by those things.
But it's so subtle. I don't think we know it happens.
We know.
I don't. I never did. Or why
Yeah,
did I? How did I do that poster
do when
without
the
knowing
McDonald's
about
commercial
symmetry?
comes on and it shows a nice juicy burger that looks so good and I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
I have a choice. I can either, I need one of those, or I can not.
Right.
I mean, it's a choice.
But they're selling you now.
I know they're trying to.
As a kid, we don't know that,
but
though.
I do or don't let them.
Right. You see what I mean? Just
and that goes back to your parents.
Right.
So are you spending all your time in front of the TV as your babysitter? Or are you being interactive with your children to where they, you can help control and steer them as to what they find appealing and not? Honestly, I watched a lot of TV in my life.
Sure.
I watched a lot of movies. And, I could be easily influenced by something that I'm paying attention to all the time. Right. Especially if you turn it on as soon as you wake up, or if you're watching it right before you go to bed. As your subconscious starts to fall, those are the images going through your head.
Correct.
It definitely depends on the person then, because like Aaron, he can get so into a movie that he actually believes that he's the character in the movie and he gets that into it. I cannot get into a movie like that. I cannot feel like I'm the person.
So I'm going to be recasting for Say Goodbye?
Wait, what?
She said, wait, what? No, I'm kidding. I want you to be able to get into that character.
I know. You guys always want me to act, and I don't want to. But anyways, I do my
And you're the one who did really good.
When
so
did
it's
I
your
get
fault.
that option?
What's that?
What option?
When we were filming The Outrider, and you said that you were done, and this was the last one that you were going to be doing, and then I was telling you about the story that I created.
Exactly, and you made me feel really bad and obligated, so I did it.
I never use guilt to influence anyone's decision. I always use logic and kindness.
Yeah, and that's his pretty artwork he uses.
Yeah, that's the pretty artwork you used.
Chuck's cover art. So, since we just segued into you acting, I did have that on one of the topics to talk about. So
I don't know why.
As a person who is very creative, like you are, because you do arts, crafts, you're a great writer, you do all these creative things, and you're very natural on camera. Yet, with all your other creative, projects you work on, acting is not one of those you enjoy, right?
Right.
Okay. Yet you live with a filmmaker, and who sees you playing certain characters since I met you, And I always wanted you to be a part of it. And I think you have the look and you have the acting ability, but never even taking any courses in acting, never having a desire to do it. You're naturally good at it, but it's a struggle for you. So
Yep.
how were you able to push through with that?
And do it?
Yes.
It's a lot of love. A lot of love that I have for you.
Right.
And a lot of being supportive of your dreams. And that's what gets me to do it. But I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I like stuff. I like natural stuff. Like if you're going to, improv, improv stuff. I don't like to have to, I don't like acting. I don't like it.
Right. But you were able to fight through it, though, and pull off the characters that we were hoping you could do. And you did it, great.
I just did what you asked me to.
Okay. But you dug deep. But, okay, so let's say that struggle for you to get through a project was there the entire time, and you bucked up and you did it because we asked you to, or I asked you to, or whatever the case may be. When you were done with it, did you feel anything like a relief of, oh, God, I'm glad that's over? Or was it more or less something that you're proud of? Did you feel proud after you finished something like that?
A little bit.
In what way? I mean, what was that pride?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's cool to see what you do with it. Mm-hmm. That's cool to see. So I guess I'm glad sometimes I do it for that.
Okay.
But in the moment, I'm not a happy person. I don't like it.
Right. Were you proud of yourself, though? Did you feel like, holy shit, I did that?
I was proud of how cool you made me look.
Okay, but that's easy.
I don't know if I was proud of my own
easier to
self,
do when someone's
but...
good. I mean, that's not much for me to do.
I was going to say, yeah, because being the person who was behind everything while you guys were doing everything, he didn't change the words that came out of your mouth. He didn't change the way you presented yourself. He didn't change any of that. He just clipped everything together to create the film.
Yeah.
So everything that you did, you should be proud of because he didn't make you look good. That's how good you performed.
Right. And that's a sense of accomplishment. Like you actually did something most people can't do. Like if something's hard and they don't like it, they usually don't try it or don't try to even push through to see if there's something on the other side of that. You grew. You know what I mean? And I think that's a vital thing.
For me, my accomplishments, I want them to be what I want to accomplish. What I want to accomplish.
Okay.
So like if I accomplished something that I wanted to do, that would be great. But when I accomplish something that I don't want to do, I don't really care.
Right.
It's not the same.
So I feel accomplished if I mow the lawn or if I do the dishes. I mean, that's how easy it is for me to feel accomplished because that's something I wish I didn't have to do, but I do it and I'm like, oh, I'm glad that's done. There's a little sense of like push there where I'm like, oh, I feel good. I got that done. Did you feel that at all when you were acting in, let's say, The Outrider?
I don't think so. I don't know.
That's amazing to me.
I just did it, and I don't know.
Yeah, how many people out there do you know that can pull off a role in a movie, Chuck, and not like it? And no one would know that. Everybody that sees her in The Outrider goes, man, Sam is so good. She's so good. I wish I saw her more in the movie. You know what I mean? And and they don't know she fucking hates it, like to the depths of her soul.
Not only that, but you look at other like real actresses, and come on. I mean, you don't have to tell me I'm good when I can clearly see that there's people that are so much better.
Well, of course there are. There's people better than all of us in this
like
room
I suck
at anything
compared to
but you don't feel that way
actors.
when you're creating like an art project at home, like if you're doing something with your beads or you're making.
Oh, absolutely, I do. I'm so highly critical of myself.
Highly critical is one thing, but you keep pushing through those things, and knowing that someone out there could do it better never stops you. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah. And the same thing goes with acting, like what we're doing. We know we're not that great yet. We're better than we used to be, but that's because we kept doing it. There is a passion there for us that we love that you don't have because you don't like that thing. But looking at you and being able to pull off what you pull off without having the passion for it is amazing.
Well,
and you should give yourself some credit for that.
It's being a part of something that actually makes me feel the best out of everything.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, that's what it is, though, because my personality. Right. I like to be a part of things.
Right. Even if you're fucking yelling at everybody and you hate us during the...
When did I yell at you?
Maybe not Chuck. You're nice to Chuck.
No, actually, one of my favorite things... One of the... One of my favorite things was when we had the pre-production meeting with all the new cast and crew when we were doing the Outrider. Mm-hmm. And Sam brings up, the money that was spent so far to get ready to get this thing going, the dedication and all the efforts we put in so far, and she basically just chewed out the entire cast
Yeah,
before
she didn't
anybody.
fuck around.
Did I
this
really?
This was a meeting. This was
Pre-production
like
meeting,
a
yeah.
get to know you. Hi, we're looking forward to working with you. And
God, I
she
don't
was like,
remember
you
doing
guys
that.
need to understand that these guys are serious. This is like a job to them. This is a dream coming true, and you guys better be on your best. Don't you dare not show up for something.
That's what
That
she
was
said.
my loyal ass being your guys' friend.
Down
is
ass
what
bitch,
that
like
was.
gangster
I
stuff.
was getting your back.
You did, yeah. You scared the
That's
shit
what I
out of
do.
everybody. That's why they all showed up. 'Cause
That's
Sam
what I
didn't
do.
Fuck around.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I thought you were the scary one and all that. Because you chewed everybody out.
Yeah,
Cute.
Chuck did.
I will chew people out on set, when
And
they're
no
not
one says a
being
word to
productive.
him. If I say one thing,
That's because you're a natural asshole. I mean, Chuck's never an asshole, so when he's an
He is a
asshole,
fucking
you
asshole.
pay attention.
he can be such a dick,
Okay, he's
cold
not,
and scary.
Though. He's not, though.
He is. So everybody just like, they come to me and was like, is Chuck okay? Is he mad at me? I'm like, I don't fucking know. He's the way he acts. He's serious. But if I say something, even
Because
if it's
you're
comical,
always an
they're
asshole.
like, you're a fucking
It's like,
dick. And I'm
shut
like,
up, asshole. Like, really, you're always an asshole, so no one listens to you. Chuck's not always an
fuck's
asshole,
sakes.
so when he's an asshole, we listen.
It must be
That's
that.
how that works.
Must be that
So you
artwork,
know what?
that-
Maybe
that
if you
cover.
weren't, maybe if you weren't such an asshole all the time, someone might listen to you.
Just a smirk on my face. I got to change my artwork. I got to change it up.
One of the new Avatar works good. Just put a sticker over your mouth all the time. You'd be
I
fine.
know. That's why I thought it was good. Yeah.
But no, that was one of the things. I mean, that's one of the things that people talk about is the fact that in the industry, as we have gone through some different projects here in the last year ourselves, you got the question posed to you by somebody that we were working with is to, if I was, if I'm an asshole, if I'm always this pushy and all that kind of stuff, it's like I'm, and that's we told everybody, Chuck's not pushy. He's not an asshole. He's direct and he's motivated.
Correct.
And organized.
I get that.
Right,
Yeah.
but you had to explain that to somebody else
Yes.
in the industry because they thought I was like trying to take over all their shit. I'm like, no,
Right.
man, you want my help? Here's the first thing I have to help you here. What do you think of this?
Right.
And they're like, oh, we just talked 20 minutes ago. I'm like, yeah, well,
Yeah.
So you mean people that don't know you, you come off like an asshole?
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
a phone call from somebody that we were
Oh, and
potentially
people
working
that don't
with.
know you, you come off as not an asshole. Isn't that crazy, guys?
Well, it's because of my artwork.
Yes, because
yeah,
of
this
something.
this is this right here.
The cover
It's a
art
lot to work with.
Sells. Yeah. Sells. You start turning these pages in this baby though.
Oh my god!
It's a
You
thick book.
See what I mean?
Thick book. It's a good read though. It's a fucking good read.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
And she reads you every night.
And we should see that ending. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to read them all.
You can't. It's a
the
page turner,
time.
man.
And then she
You can't
goes
stop
to,
turning pages.
and she goes to sleep.
Yeah, because
and
I'm trying to get to the end.
she goes to sleep
Little
and she
duct tape on
she
that mouth.
settles off and she was like, she's back into the loving of Aaron dream world and she's all happy. And then you snore.
Or fart.
And then she rolls over and begins the elbow blast.
And beating the shit out of me in my sleep.
He doesn't even know it though that I beat him up.
Have you ever just grabbed the pillow and just put it over him?
Not yet.
Oh,
Maybe she did.
Don't.
over his face.
Probably. Yeah.
If you cover up that artwork, it might be easier to deal with.
That's probably why I snore right now. She busted my nasal cavity trying to.
I
the
know
pressure.
he always wakes up and he's like, I hurt right here, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, because I know I hit him hard right there.
Bullshit, man.
You snoring.
It's brutal.
I'm trying not to snort on the microphone.
We got these pop filters. We should be good.
I know. I want to know how sensitive these things are because my stomach's growling. Can you
Oh,
hear
no,
it?
you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you can
No,
hear it.
no,
Okay.
no.
good.
If you can hear it, we'll make sure to turn it up a little bit.
All right, so filmmakers then. So in order for them to do now, we talked about artwork for filmmakers basically, but I think that goes across the board, right? So Sam recommended, finding somebody you can hire. So if you don't have a budget to work with, you could go on maybe some filmmaking groups. Maybe there's people out there that could, want to work with you on your project, just because they want to get that exposure as well, and they might do a better job at it. Maybe you're not good at Photoshop or using After Effects. I do posters in After Effects because Photoshop, even though it's the same, company that makes it, Adobe, the tools I still haven't got down in Photoshop to make it easier. And every time I get it down, I end up screwing up later because we only do one poster, a year?
Right.
Or something. So by the time I get back there, I'm like, I forgot how to do this. But After Effects, I just get, and I make posters in After Effects of all weird places. But it doesn't matter where you make them. There's all kinds of different programs and stuff. But point is, if you're not good at it enough to get a solid vision and a really good poster for, let's say, your film, you have to hire somebody to do it or ask somebody to do it.
Or research is always free.
There's free websites too. You can make them, but they come across a little
tutorials. Things,
yeah, they're just yeah. I mean, you can learn. Yeah, there's YouTube's full of them. I mean, there's a lot of things that filmmakers can do to figure it out.
Another thing to remember too is the fact that take the time to look at the most popular, biggest budget movies and what they do for their artwork. Because just like in politics, these big Universal and all these other big giant studios, they will waste money to make sure that they can get every single person who might be interested in what they're doing and what they're selling to get that artwork. So if you have a preface of what you're going to do that's similar to something that a big budget's doing, as far as a style of movie or something like that, look at a trail of all those different posters to see what they have in
right.
I don't know if I necessarily completely agree with that, only because I think that if you are established and you're popular, I don't think it matters as much what your artwork looks like.
Well, that's fair, but we're not talking about the popular people. We're talking about like guys who don't know who people are yet. They don't know who we are, so this is what we're trying to do.
Okay, so you're talking about reeling people in just from nothing. Just
kind
from
of
not
where
knowing.
we are. Yeah, just starting out, trying to get your first film out there, or short film, or whatever. And you're right, though. If you're popular, you can get a lot more stuff than someone like us.
Because it made me think of like album art and what I would pick to listen to. If I know the person, I don't give a shit what the artwork looks like.
They've already proven themselves to you.
You could put a big black X on a white background, and I don't care. That's boring, but who cares?
That is an album. Who did that one?
I don't know. I don't remember, but I do remember that.
I know. I do too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I pulled that out of my memory, not my ass.
She makes a good point, though. Yeah, if you're out there already and you've established an audience, you probably can get away with a little more with dumbing down your cover art or something. But for us starters, you got to really do something. Unfortunately, in this planet, to catch the eye of people,
right?
And you got to figure that out. And there's
so
a lot of ways to do it.
it's almost more important than
in a way,
what you have than the.
And that's what I'm talking. It's sad, right? The product itself, the film or the story you wrote or whatever creation you made should be what I think is important. But to get somebody to engage in what you created, you've got to have a catch.
Well,
you've
that's
got to
like
have
anything.
some bait.
It's like a cover letter of your resume or whatever.
Yes.
It's how you present.
Yeah.
It's how you present yourself.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every people do those glamour shots and stuff for their acting profiles and all that shit.
Sure.
And you're just like, dude, I know that's not how you really look, but that presentation matters. And I
never thought glamour shots were any good.
I know they suck. It's so
They're
it's
so
so
bad.
fucking cringy. You're just like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
For those of you out there who've had glamour shots done recently, I hope that you've enjoyed the product that you have.
Do they have? Oh, yeah, nice plug.
Oops, sorry for offending.
Do we? Is there still glamour shots out there?
I
remember at the mall
so.
they used to have glamour shots.
Yeah.
And you go and they're all decked out.
No,
Did you ever do it?
Was that actually like the 90s or the 80s?
They deck you out.
80s and the 90s. 90s.
I think it was both.
It was 90s.
80s, 90s.
I think it was both.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Early 90s, late
transition.
80s.
Yeah.
But I thought earlier when you guys were talking here at the end of the whole thing, I think it's funny that we've segued from not to judge a book by its cover to how to get the most appealing cover art to get that draw.
Well, no,
to get people to look at your stuff.
And that was my interpretation of the topic.
Things by
that
their
you picked.
covers.
Yeah,
That's what we basically ended up.
I don't like it. What we're telling people, if you can, get rid of how you've been trained, how whatever conspiracy theory has been out there, and how they've mind fucked you since the beginning. Like in John Carpenter's They Live, they've flashed those things in front of our eyes since the beginning of time, and we're trained almost to have this appealing concept to visual stimulus. And I honestly don't think you're born with that. Other than the first person you see when you're born, that's that first contact you have with somebody as a baby. I think that's the first time you're influenced. Now, you were talking earlier about, if you're a good parent and you're not letting your kids look at merchandising or TV as much and everything else, but they're still influenced by you and your cover art and what you're training them to do. So if you're a fucked up parent, You're going to be doing the same bad marketing to this new sponge that's going to absorb everything that you're pushing on them. No different than what these corporate elite people are doing to capture our belief in, gosh, that looks great. Just because I saw a poster, I'm going to go buy that movie. You know what I mean?
But you're saying that we don't have a choice to those things,
do.
like as much as we actually do.
We do. We always could say no. I'm saying if you don't judge a book by its cover, you literally have to tell yourself, I'm not going to not watch this because I don't like that poster. I'm going to click on it
But
anyway.
don't we learn those lessons the hard way?
I don't think we talk about it enough.
Well, we all get something because it looks good.
Right.
And then we get home and we open the box and we take a bite and we're like, this is crusty and it tastes like shit. But it looked good.
Right.
Right? So you learn.
You do learn. I do that all the
It's
time.
like-
But that's why I eat the same thing when we go to a restaurant. That's why I always buy the same soda.
Because you
That's
don't want
why
to take a chance on
Right,
something.
right,
And you know
because-
there's other good things.
Because I've read those books already. I know they're good. You see what I mean? So if you're going to go outside the box and try to, try something new, you're taking a chance. And I'm saying, yes, don't judge a book by cover. Be more like you, because you do try stuff like that. When she goes to a restaurant, she'll order random shit all the time. Or I'm like, I don't even know if that's fucking good.
Because I
And
don't
she'll
like to
order
eat
it.
the same shit every time.
And you're one of the people that you would still watch a movie, let's say, even if the cover art didn't get you. You watched a trailer and be like, okay, that movie looks good. But you still clicked on it and see that click is
Because
important.
I've learned all the greatest things in my life, all the greatest things I've heard, read, seen, tasted, were maybe not the prettiest thing I ever saw or
Right.
the most appealing thing.
Sorry, Aaron.
That's okay. But most people, I don't think, do that. I mean, that's commercialism, what we're
That
talking
was actually
about.
really appealing at first. That was that was where I got one of my hard lessons to learn.
Ow.
Oh, he's so pretty.
Yeah.
And the love continues to flow through the airways.
Oh, this is real love, though. This is real progress.
This is real love.
Yeah.
Actually, this is love. This is communication. This is what it takes to have a relationship.
Absolutely. I appreciate it for that. I don't want her lying to me about shit. I hate that.
The good
He
thing
was
is
pretty
he's
with
still,
his mouth was closed.
I was making a really good point.
Samantha
Slowly,
Hanna.
I
ladies
am
and gentlemen.
so sorry.
I can't remember what I said. It's too late. I'll have to bring it back in the next podcast.
Oh,
It's gone
darn.
now. I know. Right? Anyway. Where are we at on time? How are we doing?
We are just under an hour.
Under an hour still? We did pretty good.
Can I tell you why I like the cover of the podcast that you made?
Absolutely. Please do.
Because it looks like you have tape over your mouth. Just saying.
I know. I thought
And
that would be...
that's like a great dream come true.
I have a roll of duct tape in the garage you can take home with
The
you.
good
if you need
news,
to.
the cool thing though is,
have duct tape.
and when it comes to artwork, that's a good example. It's about expressing certain elements of what you're, not who you are, but the essence of what you're trying to portray, right?
Right.
So like if you have a story that has certain points, like if you look at the Outrider poster, I wanted Marcus Ford to feel alone, not knowing what's going on. That poster to me sells that. He feels like he's by himself. And not just that, he's in the center. He's balanced. He's not on one side or the other. He's dead in the middle. There's paths there. There's all these little things I saw. The city, yeah, we know that's a noir, so I wanted to do that. The sun setting is reminiscent to me of Darkness Coming. Little stuff that I thought of. But as far as all the asymmetrical stuff you guys talking about, I had no fucking idea. But, again, that
The
that kind
basic
of thing.
idea was Aaron is the center of attention.
Well, no, not really. Not really. No, when we did the cover,
that's
the new...
what I saw when I
Jesus Christ.
All right, let's wait a second. Here,
The new
let's
cover
change
art.
this. Let's get off the cover art of
Okay.
the Outrider and let's go to the cover art of us.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, so looking at the avatars of us,
Right.
You have a tendency to swear more than anybody.
Correct.
He has his favorite adjectives.
Right.
And then I'm not afraid of swearing, and I'm not opposed to it, and I do it quite often. However, there are certain times I try not to. That's why the art looks like the way it does. He's swearing, and usually I'll roll my eyes or give him a side glance when I think he's swearing too much.
Right.
Or I point out his favorite adjectives.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Simple.
You have young children in the house. That's a reason to control your mouth.
Does that
right?
control yours with our kids?
Hell no! If my kids hear someone swear in the store, they think it's me.
Yeah, exactly.
They-
I know.
I was like, I have young children in the house, but all my children are adults. The young
Yeah, I
children
know,
are.
but you have
I'm a
young
I'm a
Right,
papa. I'm a
right.
grandfather.
And
Yes,
you're
sir.
like normal human being, not like us, not like me. Because I don't give a
normal
fucking
human
crap.
being.
I cuss in front of kids. I don't fucking care. They know what to say and what not to say, and they're not stupid. So
You say I'm a normal human being because
yeah,
I
like
don't,
you're
because
more
wait, because
normal-ish.
I'm not sit there and maybe swear at my kids and do all that kind of stuff. However, do you sit in traffic and imagine what it feels like to stick your thumbs through somebody's eyes who are sitting there in the way and won't move?
Is that the disturbing shit that goes through your mind?
Yes.
Okay.
It just goes. That just
Well,
feeds
you know
the creative
what?
side.
You might want to take up cussing because that's kind of like disturbing.
I told you. You have no idea what goes to this mindset.
You need to cuss, Chuck. You
Yeah.
need to just
You need to let that
fucking
shit out,
cuss.
yeah.
But no, but at the same
He's
time,
gonna come over one day and there's a body he's gonna be pulling out of the fucking car like I couldn't help it, Aaron. You just gotta help me hide this fucking body. I'd be like, bro.
He's told me stories about the shit that's in your head.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
It's fun.
It's not stories about the stuff that's in my head. It's the stories that go through my head. And
I'd be
leads
afraid of what
to
would go through my
stories.
head if I wasn't
Cussing.
saying fuck every other word.
Yeah. It's important. I think so.
Kind of.
I think so.
Like, kind of.
I agree. Everybody wants it.
I always felt
We
like
mellow it out, but I
the,
don't think
the
that's
fuck
right.
was way worse than what was going to go through my brain if I didn't say fuck.
You mean like putting your thumbs through somebody's eyeballs?
Stuff like that.
Oh,
you
sure.
know?
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
people,
yeah, that's a good
flying
point.
up against the wall and smashing into a million pieces and blood going everywhere and guts and
Jesus Christ.
you see what I'm saying? Like you
I
gotta
mean,
cuss or
and
you're gonna
I'm-
think crazy.
And I don't want to avoid sexism and stuff, but the problem is I've given people. Here's a great example.
Okay.
With my ex-wife, I had two experiences that were extremely bad with her. One was when our bouncer was sitting on the counter. She walked into the room. She wasn't paying attention to what she was doing. She knocked the bouncer sideways and went over a candle, and the bouncer almost caught in flames immediately. And I ripped the bouncer in half, grabbed our daughter out of it, and was
Did your
staring.
baby was in it?
Yes.
Oh.
And was staring at her. Second time was, baby was crawling towards the end of the couch. I was like, oh, you grab her really quick before she falls off. She fell over the edge of the couch, hit the coffee table, and hit the ground.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't lean forward and grab her.
What?
And I picked up the baby, and I stared at her, and she thought I was going to hurt her.
Right.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. He thought it.
But
though.
there's the thought. Now, see, somebody
But your
like...
eyes were saying,
but somebody-
right now your head's coming off in
Somebody-
my brain.
But the other problem is that somebody of my stature who would, who looks more like the 1980s
Serial killer.
horror villains.
Yeah.
Right?
That is a feasibility. So you sitting there saying, me saying fuck is better than me sitting there and grabbing somebody and throwing them against the wall. It's a little bit different from somebody who, you are a very strong person, Sam. Don't take this the wrong way, but somebody who can physically actually do it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, actually,
So-
there's kind of a truth to that. But I mean, Aaron didn't strike me as being scary when I met him, but he can be scary.
Yeah. That's some
So,
hugs I
like,
need.
it's
I need
not
them hugs, man.
always. I mean, like, I
can trip.
I would
I can.
put my money on him being scarier than you.
He seemed to be pretty scary. We were just talking about it
And
when I
he's
went after that guy in the
bigger
parking
than-
lot. Yeah.
What?
Oh, and with this long story, but we were talking about hugs. I don't know how we got on
Okay.
that.
Yes.
But I was going after this guy my brother was little, and we went to that gym, and we're in the parking lot that night, and they turned the lights out when we were playing fucking basketball. And I thought it was fucked up because we're still in the middle of the game, and we couldn't see shit, so we could easily roll an ankle, fell down, hurt ourselves, and I was like bitching at these guys. In the locker room, we kept going back and forth with them. Well, Marcus was little then. He was a littler guy, teenager maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they started talking shit. Him and Marcus got buck with him. And I'm like, because, brother's no joke. Anyway, we go out to the fucking parking lot, and these guys are still talking shit. And I don't know, it was one of those moments where I can't remember what happened. You probably remember better. I blacked the fuck out.
Like the time the guy called you Prince.
Yeah, and I didn't fuck around him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Beat
and
his
you
fucking ass. I
freaking-
boloed his dude. I fucking
my
American
God.
History X'd him.
Right into the curve.
I did, bro.
With his
It was no joke.
face.
The coolest thing
His face
about that,
was all-
though, yeah, remember though when they tried to pull me off and my shirt ripped and I stood
Yeah.
up like Bruce Lee and my shirt was half hanging off.
Oh, okay.
That was
This
dude. It
is
was
all
good.
completely
It was
unnecessary
badass.
information.
Dude, it was great.
We're
That
not gonna
would have been a
talk-
great movie poster.
The point to this
God.
one was, in this situation, Aaron and Marcus are both running their mouths because they were pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to get everybody to the vehicle so they can leave. Because it was the people who were working at the gym. And so
Oh, you were
they
here
they were
too?
the last.
Yeah, Chuck was with us.
Yeah, this is the story of me being with them.
Okay.
This is about the warm embrace. And so what happened is one of the guys, Aaron turned quickly, and one of the guys reached up and ripped his glasses off of his face. And Aaron thought he grabbed something. So Aaron threw something, whatever he had in his hands, threw it over behind him and went at the guy. Well, I was still standing between the two of them. I picked Aaron up and I walked him about 100 feet into the parking lot of the trucking company next door.
Yeah, he snatched me
and
up.
sat him down and was just sitting there and said, we ain't doing shit. And Marcus, naturally, when I did that, stopped and started walking towards us.
Yeah.
The other guys got in their truck and walked away.
We walked away like bitches.
No, we didn't walk away like bitches. The whole point was the
Yeah.
fact that he was like, he realized that that hug is exactly what he needed because it calmed him down.
It did calm me down. It was a big hug. Like, as soon as he grabbed me, I'm like, you
Can you come
motherfuckers,
over-
I'm going to kick your...
Can you come over and hug him?
Great. This
often?
is...
Like, come hug him a lot. Like, just stop by whenever you're in the area and hug him, please.
Oh, man. Well, all right. Anyway, I hope we help people today.
If not, I hope we entertained him at least.
At least that, too. But I think there's something to that what we're talking about with the art and not judging a book. And if you could do both of those things and know that at one way, yes, unfortunately in our society, we have to have something pretty. A nice wrapping before someone's going to open our present.
True.
Which is sad. But that is the way it is. But if you cannot be that way, you can make the change happen. Maybe that can be something that catches on after a while. You know what I'm saying? If you can just get past trying to judge something just by your initial peek at it. I don't know. Maybe.
Sam's a great example of that. She does a great job acting, and you would never know that she hates it.
Right.
She only does
yeah,
it
and
because she's supporting him.
Yeah.
At Christmas, when you're broke, you wrap the presents really pretty
Right.
so that
Right.
they look better than they are.
Right. I get it.
When I was broke, I just opened up all the shit and put it out for everybody and been like, put little place cards by their toy.
Right. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know, this shit's not easy, people.
Put
You just
some
gotta keep
makeup on.
working on it. Try to think about what you're doing. Try to figure out every avenue and corner you can take to try to maximize the consumers that you can get that can help, follow your dream. I mean, I don't know what else you can do. I mean, that's basically it. But there's something to it, I'm telling you.
I don't think it's as much of a conspiracy as you believe. However, there is
Fucking
something.
aliens. Fucking aliens. I know it. They're getting us. Get those sunglasses, put them on. You see them all over. You're probably one of them, Chuck.
No, I'm not.
Probably are.
Stop thinking that way, Aaron.
Maybe Sam is.
You
That's
know
why
what I
she's been
just
trying to
thought
change
of?
me this whole time.
You remember that Susan Boyle chick?
Susan Boyle.
You know Susan Boyle, who had this amazing voice, but she was butt ugly. So, excuse me, Susan. I hope you're not listening. I'm sorry for offending.
The English singer.
Yeah.
London.
Okay, yeah, I don't know her. Anyway.
And I didn't. That was really mean what I said. I said butt ugly. That was not nice. But she
fine.
was not it didn't fit. Her face did not fit her voice.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Fair enough.
And to put it in a much nicer way.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. People don't look at, you wouldn't look at her and expect her to have that kind of a voice.
Yeah. But now people are mad at
Right.
Adele for losing all that weight. And she looks
Wait,
pretty
what?
now. Well, she was pretty before.
She's-
She was gorgeous
I
for a
thought
big
she was
lady.
way
She
prettier.
was way prettier.
I
Yeah,
thought
but
she
now
was
she
prettier
looks
before.
like what people expect. And now the people who are bigger are upset that she lost that weight, like she's selling out. Well, you know what? She's healthier, though, now. She's a healthier person. You should be happy for her if you like her music,
like
right?
we talked about at the very beginning, you are always going to offend somebody with whatever
Right.
you do.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. There's always someone waiting to
You
be
don't
offended.
have to tell me.
Well, you offend everybody with whatever you
Something.
do.
He
Pussies.
is offensive.
Fucking pussies, man. Everybody's fucking...
He's highly offensive.
They just don't have any spine anymore. They can't take it.
We've been friends for 28 years. I think I got a good spine, even though I'm half,
Well, you read the book,
I'm
though.
half broke.
You know the book. You know the story. You get it. I'm talking about the people that don't get the story. They would just look at the outside and they're like, oh, well, Aaron's an asshole. They don't know shit about me.
You're you need to have a spine because I'm spineless.
What?
You need to be able to take my shit because...
Oh, I can now. I can take your shit good now. At one time I couldn't, though. I had to get,
Stronger.
had to put them pads on, man. It was a rough game. Shit. Thought I was playing golf. This is hockey. Shit, she didn't fuck around, dude. I can't even skate. I was slipping everywhere, falling on my ass, getting back up, though, every time. Trying to get better. Just like you with acting. Love you, babe. You're fine.
Okay.
All right, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much today for joining us
Is
around
that
the
the music?
reel.
The music is playing.
Yeah.
Sam made that music, by the way.
I did.
She made that
I'm
in 10
actually-
minutes on the app on her phone.
that I'm proud of.
See? That's great.
There's pride right there.
What the hell?
I love that.
What the hell?
I did a good job on that.
I know. It's great.
It's perfectly
As soon as you play
with
it,
your
I will do
podcast. But what the hell?
Our podcast. Right, Chuck? Our podcast.
Our podcast.
Yes.
Oh.
It's ours.
If you are with us, if you live with us, you are part of our lives, which means that everything we do is part of what you do, and you influence us in great, wonderful ways. Both you and my wife Amber, and my whole family, your whole family.
That's right.
And even those assholes we deal with every day.
Every day. All right, then. I guess that's it. This Tuesday, though, I'm going to be on another show, by the way. It's called Black and a Half, and it's a Seattle-based podcast, and Silas is up there and invited me to be on the show. So we're going to talk to them and have a good time on that program. And, we'll be back next Saturday, though, with a new episode. Chuck's going on vacation for a minute.
Yes.
Sam's going to do some yard work today. I'm going to work on this podcast to get it out there. So that's our day, guys. That's our show. Hope you got something out of it. You want to close this out, Sam? Or Chuck?
Go ahead, Chuck.
I like how I see we need the video. I motioned to her saying, please, this would be a wonderful time for you to go ahead and close us out. But since Sam doesn't want to, as I started to say before, the music started and then we had to cut the music back down.
Sure.
As the music now begins to build. Thank you for joining us around the reel. This is Chuck Lawson, his buddy Aaron Carlson, and his wonderful, wonderful partner in life, Samantha Hanna, saying, think hard, because you're thinking anyway.
Have a good day, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on Around the Reel, please reach out to us at our website. That's www.cccentertainmentgroup.com. There you can send us a message, and if you're an artist or creative or just want to get on the show and start talking about a bunch of shit like we do, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to have you. And if you also need other realms to find us in this wonderful Silicon Valley of what we call social media, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us all there. And we have a page on YouTube that we're just getting started as well. And also, if you do want to watch our feature film, you can find that on Amazon Prime right now. That movie is called The Outrider. It's our first major feature film that we did. We have a bunch more coming, but please watch that one. Let us know what you think. And anyway, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We got more shorts coming for you, so talk to you soon.